We're going to start this meeting. Sorry for the delay. We'll start with the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Ms. Sheffer, roll call, please.
Mrs. Lottie? Ms. Fisher? Mrs. Hass here? Mrs. Holzberger?
Here.
Mrs. Ellison?
Carrie? Carrie?
Mrs. Ellison?
No, you have the volume up. Speaker? Carrie?
Yep, I'm here. Thank you.
Mrs. Sandrina? Here. Mr. Riley?
Present.
Dr. Volcano? Mr. Myers?
Here. Approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
Motion.
All those in favor?
Do we have that with the addendum?
I'm going to add as soon as we're done with that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We're going to add a resolution to the agenda tonight on a resolution to appeal the court decision, and Mr. Freund will read it.
Should we read at this point? All right. The resolution that will be added is as follows. Whereas two students at the Easton Area Middle School brought suit against the district in which they claimed their First Amendment rights to free speech were violated when they knowingly defied a ban on wearing the I Love Booby bracelets at the middle school. And whereas on April 12, 2011, the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, McLaughlin J, at number 106283, granted plaintiff's preliminary injunction against enforcement of the bracelet ban, and whereas the district believes that the court erred in finding a violation of plaintiff's constitutional rights, and particularly the court's conclusion that there was no reasonable basis to find the bracelets were lewd or vulgar, and whereas the court's decision substantially undermines the authority of school officials to promote civil dialogue and maintain decorum in the schools, and whereas the cost of the appeal of the court's decision is essentially covered by the district's insurance policy, and whereas similar issues on these bracelets have arisen across the country, and whereas the issues raised by this decision greatly impact the ability of school authorities to exercise sound discretion while respecting the rights of students under the existing case law, and whereas the district believes that there is merit in the appeal, it is resolved that the district appeal the court's order of April 12, 2011. The district solicitor is directed to take the necessary steps to appeal the order. Resolved this 13th day of April 2011. And the second one?
Yep.
Second resolution, which there is already a handout involving this, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, the second resolution reads, Resolution of the Eastern...
Come in personally.
Yes, it should come under the Personnel section. Second resolution to be added to the agenda reads, whereas the superintendent and administration have recommended the curtailment or alteration of educational program pursuant to section 11-1124 of the Public School Code, and whereas as a result of said proposed curtailments or alterations, it will be necessary to abolish certain professional positions identified in the superintendent's and administration's recommendations. Now, therefore, move the board approve superintendent's recommendations to include the proposed abolition of the following positions and direct that the recommendations be submitted to the Department of Education, asking that it approve the proposed curtailment or alteration in the attached addendum, which is distributed. Those are the two resolutions for addition to the agenda. Mr. Myers.
Okay. With that said, we need to go into executive session for about 15 minutes, and then we'll be right back. Posted. No.
John, Marie.
It's okay. You did, didn't you?
No more agenda. Oh, item details? Is that this? Doesn't have anything really on it. Oh, it's on the back? Share this one.
How's it going? Pretty good. You getting enough air in here? You need to pump some more oxygen? Yeah, there's some.
That's retirement.
Huh?
Joan, turn her off there. We want to get her in there. Just turn her off.
You want me to? No, hang up. I can decide if okay, yeah, they're in executive. Yeah, because I can't. Unless you want to. Yeah, we'll just. Why don't. Let me see if I can transfer you. Okay, I just need to get the number. Okay, that'd be easier then. Hold on.
Can you bring more of these out? There's no more left.
Thank you.
Carrie, they can't put you on speaker in executive session, so do you want to hold on here, or do you want us to call you when they come back? Yeah, we can just call you when they come back in. I just don't want to forget. Okay. I'll write myself a note. Somebody's going on. Okay. You know, okay, Carrie. Bye.
I haven't even seen it. So I have no idea what's in it. It doesn't say what left.
We didn't get these. By the time we realized they were out, they were already gone.
I'll run a bunch more. I have it after.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. No case, I don't see it.
And drawing.
Yeah. Oh, he's up to Vermont.
You want to carry you back? You want to get carried back on the phone?
My other brother, my talker, he's a great.
Good, good. So when I get to this. This will work.
Are there other personnel members?
Gary?
Where are the other personnel?
Okay, they're ready to start again.
Are these the personnel members? Yes. Okay, we take care of those. Then you're gonna, right after that, I'm gonna ask her. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution on the change in program? Right, motion for resolution on change in program.
Subject C, right?
They're not showing any of this. They're not presenting any of this.
Okay, sorry for that. We're gonna go right back to where we are right now. Purpose of the meeting is to adopt a proposed budget for 2011-2012 for any other business that is properly presented. With that, we're going to interested citizens on agenda items, and we'll start that now. Sign in and go.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Tracy. I'm a Forks Elementary School art teacher. I am the K-12 art coordinator in the district. I've been teaching since 1978. I love my job. I love the school district. I'm devastated to see that pretty much the entire high school art program has been cut. We have one teacher that's still remaining. And by the way, the numbers are incorrect. There are not 6 art teachers at the high school, there are 5. So it would be -4. You look around you, you have beautiful art here in this building. We have art all around our school district. If you walk into the buildings, you see beautiful art that our teachers work so hard to do. I have a little speech that I do want to read tonight to you. I know this is a difficult time for all of us, for the economy, for our jobs, for all of you here. I know that you do care about students, you do care about us. We're all in a kind of a rock and a hard place. It's a difficult time. I'm here tonight because of my concern with what I see as the steady erosion of the arts in our public schools and what the school board might do to add to this erosion. Strong schools have strong arts programs. If we don't offer these programs, families will choose neighboring schools that do. Why do we need art? Well, all of us need it. Not for its entertainment, not because it is pretty or soothing or a nice way to pass the time. We need art because it humanizes and challenges us. It is fundamental to our culture. I stand here tonight as an art educator on the shoulders of all art educators to ask that everyone in this room make certain that the arts are taught in every grade level alongside academics and athletics. Because if we fail to do this, our children and grandchildren won't have any culture wars because they won't have a culture. We cannot eliminate or diminish our art program at the high school level without understanding the repercussions for our students. If our children do not have the opportunity to study the arts, then we have done a disservice to them and to their children to come. I would ask that you look into the faces of our students, my students, that we teach every day as they create, draw, paint, discuss, and make judgments, independent judgments about their art. We need more rather than less opportunity for our children to think outside the box. With the tremendous pressure of high-stakes testing, we have lost our way in understanding or caring about the whole child. Learning is supposed to be about finding your passions and interests and the pursuit of lifelong knowledge. In the 32 years I have taught in Easton, I have always felt so proud of the fact that we have supported the visual arts program. Our art teachers, with the help of our PTAs, our wonderful PTAs, have invited artists into our schools to work with our students. They have helped to create some of the amazing art murals in our schools' hallways. We also can be proud of our wonderful school and district art shows. Just this past fall, our department presented a comprehensive K-12 art curriculum guide to the Academics and Education Committee, and it was approved and passed by this very school board. This project took years of dedicated work by our art staff. I ask tonight that each of you look into your heart and think of all the ways the visual arts are a part of your life or someone dear to you. We all attend concerts, movies, plays, and museum exhibitions. Imagine imagine Easton Area High School without these inspiring and enriching events, and then make the right decision to please try to keep the Easton Area School District High School art program intact. I thank you for your consideration tonight.
Next. Can we keep it under 3 minutes? Keep it at 3 minutes. 7 next.
My name is Keith Reynolds. As a taxpayer, I want a return for my investment. As a parent, I want the best education possible for my kids. As a school board, you are responsible to represent the people of our community. You are failing in all areas, okay, and you're blaming teachers. It's just not fair. All right, laying off 170 teachers only invites gangs. In a time of crisis, okay, we need leaders in a time of crisis. The first you go to should maybe be the superintendent. That would save some jobs. You blame teachers for the financial crisis when you gave them the contract. Sacrificed education last year. This year you're going to sacrifice not only education, but you're going to sacrifice the safety of my kids. I got 2 kids in this district. All right, middle schools have become recruiting grounds for gangs. All right, high schools will be where these students get entrenched in the gang life. Okay, I think it's about time the school board, instead of acting like a dysfunctional family and acting like a rubber stamp, maybe starts doing the right thing for the kids. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Glenda Kello, and I'm here to represent the Easton Area Education Association. I'm, first of all, very proud to be able to say that we are trying to work toward coming together with our school board, and it's for a better future for our kids, which we are here for always. We are currently in talks with the board. We're hoping that this is a positive thing. We set forth a proposal to the school district that would take care of the mess that we've received in our hands this evening with the loss of so many teachers. And we are hoping that you will truly take it to heart and take it sincerely and really consider it long and hard and hopefully accept the proposal and take care of the situation. Representatives of the Easton Area Education School Board and Easton Area Education Association came together last night to discuss the current status of the crisis in the Easton Area School District. We understand there are challenges to overcome, no doubt about it, and are committed to the common goal of finding solutions to achieve the sustainability in educational programs as well as positions. We are all here in the best interest of all stakeholders. We have committed to work together and to ensure a stable and financially responsible education and educational environment. We're getting together and we're trying to work toward a positive direction, which hopefully will include our staff as it is, in addition to a rapport with the board. It's all in the best interest of the kids that we teach every day. I'm a school teacher that has been in this district for 29 years. This is the first time ever in my career where we've not had a rapport with our board. It's time to change that. I can remember days when Charlie Palmieri was here fighting for kids and fighting for teachers. And the board worked hand in hand with the faculty, with its administration, and with the kids. We need to change this. This is not going in the right direction. Again, on behalf of the association, please consider the proposal and see it through. Thank you very much.
Is there anybody else? Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to, yep. We're gonna move on to, new business personnel. Mr. Casavinci, we're gonna start with the, administrative staff.
Mr. Drago, you have a slide. So, you know what, Mr. First, there was something that I wanted to go over first before what you were going to do, so you have it up. One of the things that we continue to do is to look at our staff at an administrative level, central administration, building level, and obviously all of our stakeholders within our school system. So since 2008, we looked at our administration since I became a superintendent. And if you look at 2008, you will see the positions that were in place, and as of current, and for next year, what will be in place. And we started out with 16 positions, and we will be at 7 positions. We've had 9 positions that have been cut, 56.25% of our administrative staff. And I bring this, to light because obviously most of you are aware of that. And what we're asking is that everyone partner, and we need to do more with less. I applaud every single person here. You work hard, you work hard on behalf of our students. And I'm asking all of us, we need to work a little bit harder. There is sacrifice for all, and there is change, but we need to be together with that change. Our administrative staff has made that change and will continue to make that change. And as we move forward, I ask every internal stakeholder to please make changes and work with us. We're trying, all of us, to do the right thing for one common goal, and that's for our students. When we entered this profession and when we were in our undergraduate programs, we were seeking to do great things for our students and great things for society. And as we move forward, we are united in that quest. The path may have been, a little skewed, but we can still get on that same path. And I'm asking you as a superintendent to please look at where we are, because we all need to be one for one common cause, and that's for our students. Thank you.
All right. All right, gonna do board personnel matters first. Everybody has a copy of what John gave to us.
We're talking about this?
Yes.
This one only,
This
not
one
the
only.
addendum, correct?
Just the addendum, not the addendum, just what John gave us on personnel. Is there a motion for that? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now we're gonna move on to the resolution, alteration of programs. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Yes. I would like to make a motion to table the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second. And if I may, Mr. President, make a comment.
Please do.
Thank you. We felt it was very important to bring these possible budget or possible cuts to everyone's attention now, because on March 28th, we would have to approve it to take it to PDE, and that's why we're doing this.
April 20th.
April, I'm sorry, April, sorry. And we felt it was very important for everyone to understand that this was requested by the board to see where we would have to be to have a balanced budget. We're hoping that by working with the union and having the discussions, that we can move forward. Go ahead, Jen.
And just to elaborate, this is the staffing study that was requested. As Jody said, we have to submit to the Pennsylvania Department of Ed. There's a timeline involved before any action could be taken. There are other, I know this is the education side of things. There are other cuts as well that don't need to be submitted to the Pennsylvania Department of Ed. So just to, elaborate here, there are other areas in our district, but this is the staffing study that was requested so that we could move forward with the Department of Ed needs. So,
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think that's all we were trying to do, was bring it forward so everyone could see the seriousness of it, of what we were trying to bring forward, of what it would take to balance the budget. I believe all of us really don't want to see those cuts. So we are in talks with the teachers union, really hoping that we can form that bond and that rapport with the group and see where we can go from there. And as Mrs. McGinley said, that it does take all of us. So if there are other things that we can look at for savings, please bring them forward. And I don't know what else to say. Is we need to work together. I don't want to go through what we went through last year.
and just to add in also, to reiterate something that has come up in the past, we are talking with other unions as well.
Yes.
Conversations are being held. They have not been a public conversation as the conversation with the teachers union has been. We want to make sure we understand we're talking to everybody. This is not an attack on our teaching staff. Believe me, I understand the way the public and it has been in the media, and it's terrible, the perception that it has created with our teaching staff, and it is not something that any of us on the board wanted to see come to this again. We were here last year. We are working on things, and we are trying to remain optimistic and hope that this is not going to be something that's going to happen, but we need to permit time as well for things.
Okay, you got it. With that said, I must speak at this point too, because we were the three who took the time and spoke with these teachers last night. This is something that we had to do. It's not something we wanted to do. This is something because of time restraints we want to put out there. But let me make one thing crystal clear. We still plan on sitting down and talking. Just because we put this out there doesn't mean we're not talking. We plan on meeting like we've already scheduled. We plan on keeping the good, healthy camaraderie we got. We've made a statement this morning, they made a statement tonight. It shows to show that we are united and trying to make sure we head down the right direction. So please don't misunderstand what we put out here. We're not out here trying to do anything but what is right, but we must at least put it out there to show what it is. With that being said, I will call for a vote on the table. Everybody ready?
Anybody else have discussion?
Anybody else have no other discussion? With that all said, Carrie, you all right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. With that said, there's a motion to table. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. We're going to move on at this point. At that point now, we'll be down to a level 4 grievance. Is there a motion to accept it?
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
Was the motion to accept or reject in here?
Motion to reject.
Was the motion to reject?
Or accept it?
Reject. Reject
Understood.
I second that.
Okay, it's to reject. Okay, everybody understand? No discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, we're going to academics. Mr. First, or is it Dr. Roberts on the field trip? Mr. First. Mr. First.
Motion. Motion?
Steve, are you doing the field trip?
Yeah, I think we're just looking to move the field trips that are, I believe, attached.
Okay, is there a motion for it?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, as we get down to new business, we're going to go finance, and then we're going to bring in the resolution that we had talked about earlier with the lawsuit. So, adoption for proposed budget for 2011-2012. Is there a second?
Second, Mr. President.
Any discussion?
I'd just like to make sure we're clarifying for everybody here that the budget that we're voting on this evening does not include any cuts. It is, the way this budget that we're voting on includes covering our $12+ million debt with money from our fund balance currently. So that is what we're voting on, just to make sure that people understand that.
Would you like to follow that up?
Said
I
it
think you said it
perfectly
crystal
fine.
clear. I was going to make that point, but Ms. Holzberger did it quite eloquently.
Not, right, not
There are
staffing
no
cuts.
personnel cuts.
There's no personnel cuts in this.
There are some
There-
salary
there's
freeze
sa-
represented.
Yes, but there are no personnel cuts with that.
Correct.
So we are correct with that.
Which also does not, yes, I think that needs to be understood also, is that that budget does not include anything that would come forward from the salary freeze if, or whatever was proposed by the teachers' union.
Or any other union.
Or any other union,
Okay?
just so that's clear.
Everybody understand that?
There are some administrative.
They are
salary
administrative
cuts,
salaries.
But they were central administration that was approved prior.
Okay. Anybody else have any discussion on that? With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, now we're going to get to the motion to approve the resolution for the appeal of a court order. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? Discussion? Now can I call for a vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? So be it. We're moving on to the next one, was the vision benefits of American contract renewal. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. Vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? You have that, Joan? Am you moving too fast for you? Okay, we're moving on to C. Palmer Company proposal to examine Eastern Area High School project cost. Motion. Second. Discussion. If not, can I call for a vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Okay, Mr. Riley. Good. Okay, we're going to refund request. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Motion to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we're going to DJ service contract. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? She caught up to me now? Okay, we're moving to financial matters, bills and reports. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? Discussion. Ms. Holzberger.
Yeah, there
I
was
knew it
the-
was not
you
going to be
know,
one, but now.
Going
without
through
using that.
those bills, there was something that came up that looked, and it was oddly questioned by a couple of people, and I've had a chance to look into it, so I'm just wondering, there was a luncheon in Princeton, and, you know, there was a question of who's having lunch, and so I asked Ms. Guidry if she could just take a look to it, make sure that it was not a cost being borne by the district. And
It was a gifted tour of Princeton, and all costs were borne by parents. There was no cost to the
So
district.
just to explain, the district sometimes fronts money and then the student fund pays, whatever pays back.
They paid the money in advance, and then the check was written for the lunch.
So
Okay.
that was.
Does that clarify anybody who had questions with that? Any more discussion?
No.
Can I call for a vote? All those in favor? Those
Aye.
opposed? All right, we're going to move to we're at interested citizens on non-agenda items. At this point in time, you can come up and speak, but if it's only anything we spoke on earlier, I will remind you that I will ask you that we're not going to discuss the non-agenda items. Okay, thank you. There's nothing, if you've not been here before, I've instituted that since Dad became president, so it's not a surprise.
Susan Joseph, Easton resident, teacher and parent. I want to say that I'm thankful and hopeful that discussions are going on. I do believe that we all have the best interest in the kids. As a parent, I've always wanted more for my own child. More opportunities to learn, more opportunities to work hard, more opportunities to be challenged. Keeping programs will give our children the opportunities we had as kids. Let's not give them less than what we had as ourselves. As a teacher, I'd like to invite all of you to attend one of the many opportunities to see the amazing things our students have created. I have a calendar of events I'd like to pass out to you, highlighting the many art shows and exhibits our students participate in.
Give them Mr. Kish. Thank you.
There is nothing better than watching a child take their parent's hand and drag them across the room to one of their pieces of art and seeing that beaming grin of pride on their face. Okay, maybe those high schoolers aren't grabbing their parents' hand, but they still have that beaming smile. There are definitely extras for the press. We'd love to see you at our art shows as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Mr. Anderson, it wouldn't be a meeting if you didn't speak.
Ah, you're gonna challenge me sometime.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'm not going to comment whether teachers are overpaid or underpaid, because there's a couple of them in my family tree. But when I pay a roofer or a plumber far more than a teacher, I think I can come to my own personal conclusions. And out of the women in my household, one chose a career in finance. They all went to exemplary schools like Lehigh and Penn State. And the one daughter who chose the career in finance roughly out-earns the other two 10 to 1. So I don't know whether teachers are overpaid or not. You can draw your own conclusion. But I've not heard any suggestions or leadership, I want to emphasize the word leadership, in terms of addressing the cost structure. And by that I mean mandates from Harrisburg and Washington for programs that are unfunded or underfunded. And as long as we're vested with those programs, you're forever going to be in trouble. Some, they're politically popular, but they're also horribly expensive. And on the revenue side, there are two issues that I've talked about before. But the Pennsylvania tax code is a weird one. And very affluent commuters to New York do not pay Pennsylvania earned income tax, which is your subsidy base. They don't pay the city or Forks, which pays for your social services. And they sure as heck don't pay into the school district, which means the rest of you have to dig deeper to pay for the people that are commuting to New York. Well, if you correct that, you'll probably save a dozen or so jobs. And that's something that could be corrected at the state level. And some of you are homeowners. Now, you get a couple of minor tax breaks for being a homeowner. But there's a lot of landlords in Easton. And the landlords in Easton and every place in Pennsylvania essentially have a free license to run to the bank, because they've got tax gimmick after tax gimmick after tax gimmick that puts them very low on the revenue side. Now, I don't know how many kids come out of your home, but you